In this video, I'm going to tell you how I met one of the biggest loves of my life. I call her the Hottie in the white car. Coming up next. One time I was riding the Hayabusa on the expressway alone, and I was just going. I had I think I had a date or something. It wasn't like an all-night date. It was just, I was going to just hang out for a little bit at my friend's, house, apartment. And then there was a club that I was going to go to after that. It's actually a pretty cool club called Boogie Nights. It was every Wednesday night it was happening. And they played old, disco music. And it's kind of fun, change of pace, to go there. It was kind of cool. And I'm on my way to her place, and I'm on the expressway, and this hot redhead comes up in this white car. Not really into redheads or anything like that, but this one was pretty exceptional, And so she starts revving her engine, and I'm goosing it a little bit, So we start going back and forth, and we're playing around. And my exit came, and she went going, and I got off my exit, and that was it. I didn't think nothing of it. So I hang out with my sort of semi-girlfriend. I had a girlfriend actually at the time. This was kind of like a side piece. I never really cheated on anybody that I was going steady with. We had the conversation, but this wasn't that, so I was still dating. And this was just somebody that I just hung out with to, we're just buddies, you know what I mean? So anyway, went there, hung out for a while. Afterwards, I went to this Boogie Nights I was telling you about. So I go in, and the shot girl, this really hot shot girl, comes up to me. She's like, "Hey, were you on a motorcycle earlier on the expressway?" And I'm like, "You're the Hottie in the white car." And she's like, "Oh my gosh, this is fate. We got to exchange numbers." She went and got a napkin or something. "Here's my number. Take it. Call me. We're definitely going out. This isn't a fake number. It's a real number. I want you to have it. We got to go out. I'm so excited about this. This is, I can't believe." I'm like, we kept going. You got off the expressway. There was no way we could have talked. And I can't believe that we actually met here. And I'm like, yeah, it does seem pretty cool. And you're hot. So yeah, I'm all for that. So we went out and we hit it off, and we had a really good relationship. It was cool. I was actually racing a lot at that point. I was doing the big tire bikes, on the NHRA Pro Stock bikes. I don't know if you know what those are, but they have the wheelie bars. They're motorcycles with the wheelie bars on the back. Okay. And so I went down to Gainesville, Florida. She came with. I think I took third place at that race. But on the way back, I picked up a new motorcycle. And I actually sold my Hayabusa while I was down there. And I had to go through North Carolina to get the new motorcycle. First thing I did was we met at the track. I got it at the track, and I wanted to test and tune the new bike. And it had a little tweak in the frame. Well, the way these, wheelie bar bikes are is these Pro Stock bikes, you basically do the whole pass with the front wheel up in the air. You're on the wheelie bars in the back tire. And then as soon as you chop the gas, the front wheel comes down. So it doesn't recognize that there's a tweak in the frame until the front wheel comes down. So I only did an 1/8 mile pass, but I was 147 miles an hour at the 8th mile. So this was pretty screaming fast for my first pass on the bike. And as soon as that front wheel hit, it just veered off and smacked me right into the guardrail. And I hit the guardrail at 147 miles an hour. I broke 9 bones, my pelvis, my ankle, a bunch of stuff. And that was the end of my motorcycle racing career. She ended up having to drive the truck with the trailer in the back with the bike back while I laid in the back seat because I had all these broken bones. And that was pretty painful too, by the way, driving every bump. I could feel every broken bone. And, honestly, that's probably where our relationship started to go downhill. She was cool about it. She did a good job of driving the car back and all that. But what happened with us was she worked at like I told you, as a shot girl at the bar. And previously to that, before I knew her, she was a stripper. Now, I had dated strippers before, and I don't like that. I can't handle it. I don't want, I don't like it. If I care about somebody, I don't want them grinding up on other guys and stuff like that. The mentality is something that I don't like, because they see guys as just like ATMs, I mean, I'm going to work this guy. I mean, it's cool because when you're dating them, they come home and you make fun of the guys that gave him money. You know what I mean? Like, oh, this guy gave me this much money. I worked him, okay, cool. High five, whatever. But I was so stupid and naive. I always thought, like they had some unwritten rule that you would never, date a customer. So I never tried to pick up a girl, a stripper or anything like that. Any strippers that I dated, I met outside the club, and they just turned out to be what they did. But I didn't like that. I knew from prior experience, you could be the best guy in the world, but you're always going to have an argument here and there. And as soon as you do, there's a whole list of other guys throwing money at them, telling them, I would treat you so wonderfully and I would do this and that. You just can't compete with that. Guys promising them the world and giving them all kinds of money. And here's this guy that doesn't give me money, just sitting at home, and I'm mad at him now, so it sets yourself up to get cheated on, so I don't like to date strippers, dancers, whatever. So she promised me, no, I'm never going to do that. That was my past. I don't want to do that anymore. That's why I'm a shot girl now. Okay. Well, what happened was she lost that job. She called me up one time, or told me about it one time. I can't remember. And basically just said that, she was at work and a guy offered her like $300 to just leave her work and go get a coffee, with them at the Starbucks or something down the street. And she's like, but, I didn't do it, this and that. Well, the next day when she went into work, she got fired. So I'm like thinking to myself, well, did you do it or not? Because why would you get fired the very next day after you told me about that story? So that's a little, fishy, but anyway, she's like, well, what am I going to do? I don't, that's all I know how to do. I'm a dancer. That's what I do. And I had this job that wasn't that, but until I can get another job doing that, I guess I have to go back to stripping. I don't have any say in the matter. She went back to stripping. So now I'm dating a stripper. I thought I didn't want to date a stripper. Now I'm dating a stripper. I told you what I used to do and an idea who I used to do it for. And then I kind of got out of that. Well, they keep an eye on people that used to work for them. If they ever do let you get out, they want to make sure you're not associating with anybody that could, get them into trouble or whatever. So I didn't realize it, but they're kind of still keeping an eye on me. So one day they come to me and say, hey, I got some disturbing news to tell you. I'm like, what are you talking about? Well, dude, I got a video of your girl cheating on you. I'm like, what are you talking about? She had this regular that would go to the club, and she would tell me about him. She's like, even if she had a crappy night, he'd still bring her anywhere from $150 to $300 for that night. So even a crappy night, she still made good money. So I'm like, okay, and we laughed about it. High five, whatever, sucker, Well, and like I said, I never thought that, I thought there was this unwritten rule. You never date, somebody, from the club. It could be a creep or something, whatever. So he shows me the video, and it's her at the guy's house, and they're naked, and like they're eating like a bowl of cereal. And he's like, yeah, they just had sex upstairs. Now they're having some cereal, and now they're going to go have sex on the couch. You want to keep playing it? I'm like, no, I don't want to see it at all, whatever. So that was kind of upsetting, but so I had just given her a watch. I saved up, it's, for me, I don't make, $300 a night or $1,000 a night. Sometimes she would make, I didn't make that kind of money. So I saved up and I got her this Belova watch, or Bulgari, or one of those two. I can't remember. Something with a B. And, because it was her birthday. So I saved up, I gave her the watch, And then this happened. So I'm like, motherfucker, I just gave her his watch. So not only do I want to break up with her, I want the watch back. So now we were staying I was kind of like staying at her place. I had a key for her place and stuff like that, you know. So that was part of it too on her side, I think, is she gave me a key to her place. And so I was staying there. I think she expected me to like, you know, pitch in for it, but I never considered myself living there. I didn't have clothes there. I lived, you know, like a mile away. So I would just go and get a change of clothes and shower and stuff. And then, you know, meet her back at her place. And in my mind, it was still her place. And I was just hanging out every, you know, most nights, you know, a few nights a week, but most nights. But in her mind, you know, I got a key and I'm staying there a lot, and I probably should have been pitching in. So in between that and getting in the accident and dealing with me being laid up, you know, and stuff, that probably was, you know, what, you know, when you break up with somebody, you go through in your mind what it was, what caused it, what did I do that was wrong, whatever. I do that anyway. And I think it helps better you, because then you don't make the same mistake again. You make new mistakes with somebody else. But, you know, she came home and I'm like, hey, you know that watch I gave it? She said, yeah, I got it. I love it. You know, I'm like, just give it back to me. I should have got, you know, I chinsed out. I should have got you the Rolex. She's like, oh, no, you gave this one to me and I like this one. Let me just keep this one. I'm like, no. I should have done it. I chinsed out. It's my fault. You know, you've done a lot. You did this and that, whatever, you know, like, I should get you the Rolex. Just give me the watch back. So she gives me the watch back. And then I'm like, fuck you. I'm like, I just saw a video of you with, you know, this guy, you know, on this, that, whatever. And I grabbed the watch and left. So that was the end of that. Now, I know that I have been all along through this changing names and stuff like that. This one, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to tell you his name or her name or whatever, but I got the last laugh because she ended up marrying the guy. And look, let me just say something. I'll just back up for 1 second and say something. I was upset that she cheated on me. But do you know what? If she takes it that far and ends up marrying the person, okay, so it was the person you were supposed to be with, right? You went on something better. Where I don't necessarily hold that against somebody. I would never do it myself. I don't like to cheat. But, you know, anyway, to get back to I got the last laugh because she married the guy and his last name is Dick. Well, guys, if you're still watching, you must have liked the video. And if you did, give it a like. Now, if you want to see more like this, subscribe and click the bell. If you got some extra time on your hands, why not watch another one? You can choose one from the Stories of My Life playlist, which will appear here after I disappear. Or you could watch the next one in the series, which will also appear here. See you in the next one.